Welcome to the Model School for Inner Cities Adobe Connect session number 2, specifically looking at Explain Everything. So what you're going to do to start is open the app. So you're going to find the icon in your iPad, and then you're going to toggle that switch there. Now, when we take a look at the instructions that are provided to us as one of the Model School's lessons that we had provided in SharePoint, and specifically looking at metacognition, here is the first sort of step that you're going to be taking. So you're going to take your camera and you're going to take pictures of the text that you wish to explain or speak about in your communication piece that you'll be using. And so that part there is well detailed for you in order to figure out what you're going to do. The main question is, well, what does this look like? Well, if you take a look on your Explain Everything, you will have a box that gives you the opportunity to insert an existing video or a new picture or existing picture. And that is simply the box with a plus sign inside of it. And it's going to open this screen here that lets you see exactly where you can choose. So then you would press that one and it would give you the pictures that you can choose from your camera roll. I won't go into much detail about it here because it was already explained in the previous video, but there it is for you to take a look at. So as you will notice on this screen now, my arrow has changed color. And the way that I changed my color was by choosing a color from the color palette that comes preloaded with the particular template that you choose from the very beginning. Some other things to note. We have on the sidebar different things. We have a pointer that just helps us pick and toggle different objects and move them around, which is what I'm doing right now. We also have a pencil or marker, which can help us to write in text with our finger. We have the arrow box, which can generate an arrow. And you see this little circle here on the arrow itself. If I want to move its orientation around, if I double click on the arrow that I have created, this little icon, this little circle will appear. Now you won't be able to see it, but when I do that, I can actually turn the arrow around and change its orientation. Now you cannot see that dot, but I wanted to make sure that I pointed it out as something that does appear on the screen when I'm making use of the arrow function. So the next part, underneath that, we have our text that we can take a look at. We also have our different things that we can add for different pictures and so forth. So I want to make sure that I brought everyone's attention to that particular aspect. So now our next step is to be able to record videos. So just as the picture states there, in order to record the audio video, you just select the red button at the bottom. A couple great things about this feature. I can basically just record for each screen, and then when I'm ready to save the entire thing, the entire clip stitches together as one long clip, which is associated with movements and voice that I do on each screen. So just as I can scroll in and scroll out on this particular picture, it's happening live as I speak, and Explain Everything remembers your movements as you're doing them. So once I've figured that out and everything is running, now we can look at the next steps that we're looking at with our students, and basically the prompts that we're looking at when we do speak to metacognition. So this is a great aspect of that. Feel free to take a look at those prompts. The prompts are also on your sheet as well. But the students are going to take those prompts and use them in order to record their voices and Explain Everything. And what's great is that you can also record voice and action. So when we get down to the heart of the matter, this all connects back to the curriculum and to our students. So these curriculum connections that we're exploring, yes, we're exploring them in reference to Explain Everything, but in the Model School's SharePoint, there are other apps that are associated with some other curriculum connections. These aren't hard and fast rules, though. So we can take those different curriculum connections and we can mentally substitute in an app that we think would best serve that. Explain Everything is just more robust in the sense that it has many of the features of these other apps embedded inside of it, of the other apps that have been provided by model schools. So something to consider. But really, ultimately, these are just tools that we are using to help us deliver the curriculum to our students in innovative and interesting ways. I've included some further prompts here for you to take a look at and to consider as well. Now let's consider some other logistics for our students. We need to make sure that these are some of the things that they can do before we're getting them to actually develop some content that they're going to give to us. We need to consider that they're able to already do some of these things. So once we know that they can, it's a lot easier for us to go through these different aspects with them or make requests of them to do these different things. So can they take a photo? Can they open an app? Can they create a new project? Can they find photos that are in the camera roll and insert them? These are some of the basics that you're probably going to have to spend some time on doing to make sure that the kids are up to speed in that particular area. And then from there, really the world's your oyster, because then every time after that, they've already done the basics. So now we can say, imagine, if you will, this as a center that they can go to around the room and basically incorporate a different aspect of their learning, maybe the communication aspect of what it is they're learning at that particular center. So as far as today is concerned, we've really just looked at three things that you can use, three features that you can use that are in Explain Everything already. The first one being inserting a visual image. So you find that image, you decide which one that you're going to use, and you insert it inside of your Explain Everything. So I found my image and I decided that's the one that I want to use. Now we need to figure out ways that we can talk about or refer to that particular image. Now, this says text, but essentially what we're talking about is a way to direct our audience's attention to the object. So we were using an arrow to do that, but of course you can use text. And put that into your image that you're taking a look at. Okay. Lastly, narration, my voice. Adding your voice to it, adding narration to it, that extra bit to help you communicate your thinking in text. That is that last piece that we've discussed today. There are others, and I'm sure you'll be able to discover others or to go deeper into the richness of this particular app. But in terms of pointing you in the right direction, hopefully we were able to do that today. Thanks a lot for your time.